is April the 30th, 2019, the last day of April. My email is rick, R-I-C-K, 0327 Please email me if you're interested in receiving my paperwork for child support. I do child support only. Paperwork is in exchange for a gift. Okay, I don't participate in questions and answers. So, Rick, I got this in the mail today, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it. Okay, if you want to ask me a question, send me a gift and then we can start, I'll help you out. Okay, those days are over. I'm tired of being besieged by rude people who do not like to hear the word no or goodbye. Okay, had some jerk yesterday, trying to question and answer me, and I'm like, dude, do you want the paperwork or no? And then he just ignored me and just kept asking me questions. And when I told him goodbye, he's like, get all nasty, calling me a scam artist, and I told him where to go to get scammed, if he wanted to get scammed. Real jerk. So I put him on the list, and he's gone. Okay. I just don't have time, guys. I mean, here's the thing. I'm doing these videos for you guys. Okay? It's not for me. Okay? All right? Those of you out there got my paper, you know damn well I can get a lot more. Okay? And I'm definitely not doing this to get rich. I started out doing this. I started doing this over 3 years ago, about 3 years ago, right? And I was going through the process. So all I was doing was making videos, and I was documenting I had no intentions on, receiving gifts from people. No, I wouldn't even dream of asking anybody to send me a penny for a gift without proof that what I'm doing works. Okay, and then I filed the writ of quo. I'm just giving you a quick, of how I got here. And I filed the writ of quo rento. I went to court. Had no idea that day I was going to go before, I would be testifying in front of a judge. I recorded it. It's in my videos. If you want to go back and check, August of 2016. What you don't see is I recorded it without their permission. It's another thing you guys need to start thinking about. You need to start recording the proceedings, okay? You need proof. These people, they're not playing fair with you, okay? If you're gonna go in there, first of all, you gotta know your subject. You gotta know what this is, okay? I'm not telling you this, okay? And it's maybe it's 100%. They need your consent. They do not want you to know this. Amen says the same thing. Okay, and anybody that's used my paperwork and had success, they went in there and they knew the subject, meaning child support and the law and their rights, and they were confident. When you start making them scared of you, that's when you're going to triumph. That's what I did. Okay, and what you didn't see was behind me, there was about 7 or 8 attorneys sitting there listening to everything because they were curious. Okay, not many people filed writ of quo rento proceedings. Okay, and then I got a stay that day, and then in November they vacated the order. Okay, and it was a default order. Okay, but he also vacated child support order. But what happened was I cornered him, and I think I touched on this in one of my videos, and I went off on one of my tangents. What happens is all these haters out there that like to hate on me. Well, it's your default. But listen, these judges, you know how hard it is to get a judge to admit they don't have jurisdiction? You want to know why? Because when one of their fellow attorneys, fellow legal eagles, fake judge, whoever, lawyers, when they do not have jurisdiction, they could be sued personally. Okay? Everybody has judicial immunity. Everybody, you, me, all of us. It's called being innocent until proven guilty. Well, the same judges, they just want everybody to believe they're judicially immune so nobody goes after them. Do you know judges have insurance? Why do you think they have insurance? They have insurance because they know they're going to be violating the Constitution. They all have insurance. They all have bonds. You think they have insurance because they know they're going to be violating the Constitution, and that one of us might come along and sue them. So I cornered the judge and I said, "Sir, I'm sorry, but I'm not leaving here without a remedy. You're going to have to prove jurisdiction." And the girl sitting next to me whispering in his ear, and they made a compromise. They issued a stay. Listen, I was very happy with that. Okay, child support stopped on that very day for me, and that's when my life changed. And then 3 months later, I got it vacated, as I just was telling you the story. And then a couple of months later, I started making paperwork and helping people. Okay? There are people out there right now who are disinformation agents. You guys have to be very, very, very careful. Okay? That one idiot that called me a fraud, that idiot, okay? I don't believe he even ever paid child support. And somebody told me, because I don't watch the idiot's channel, that he claims, well, I'm still going through it right now. Well, if you're still going through it, who the hell are you to make videos telling people what to do if you're still going through the process? Who are you to tell anybody what to do anything? I wouldn't dream of doing it, as I just gave the story. Okay, I had one person like, oh yeah, and he mentioned some other channel, not the channels, like me and Amen and it's me, some other guy, and I looked at it. The guy had 84,000 subscribers, and he had his videos had an average of 600 views. That's almost impossible. He's an agent. He's an agent, and they give out disinformation. What they all want like you to do. Oh, you know what you do? You just send in a demur and you don't show up. They don't want you to show because they want you to default. Okay? They want you to default. With my paperwork, you don't default. Okay? You can send the paperwork in and you don't have to show up. That's how good I got my paperwork now. Okay? Now, what I'm going to show you guys is that all of these child support entities, every state child support agency, none of them are Title 4D child support agencies or a unit. It's a fraud. Okay? It's a fraud. Because one, they're outside of the state. What is the state? District of Columbia, blah, blah, blah. Remember, for new people who just started watching my channel, under 42 USC 1301 definitions, you look up state, it's the District of Columbia, Virgin Islands, Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, Guam, and American Samoa. Okay, it's the federal territories, but really it's District of Columbia. So in other words, the District of Columbia is 10 by 10, 10 miles by 10 miles. All right, that's federal jurisdiction. Anything outside of there, they don't have jurisdiction to enforce child support under 42 USC, the Act, the Social Security Act, which is 42 USC, as I said, 651 through 669 subsection B. Okay, but if they're outside of that, jurisdiction, as I just said, they don't have jurisdiction to enforce it. So the state plan, which is right here, right? Right here, state plan for child support, subsection 3, provide for the establishment or designation of a single and separate organizational unit. This is where they believe they have the jurisdiction to establish a state child support collection agency. Okay, so let's look up unit. Unit means a unit of the corpse, Well, the corpse. I don't mean a corpse, a dead body corpse, like like the Marine Corps. All right, let's look it up. Unit. See, and they give you the runaround again. The term unit means a unit of the corps is referred to. Now they're going to take you somewhere else. That's what they do. They give you the runaround. It's like circular logic. C. Organization of corps into units. Okay. What it's really related to is for medical services. Everything under 42 USC is for medical services. So if the child is supposed to be receiving some type of medical services. Okay, this is what they do. They hide under these definitions. Okay, all right. Plan. Unless the context otherwise requires the terms. Plan means state child health plan. So that's the services or assistance that your child must be receiving, okay, for the custodial parent to assign her support rights or his support rights. Okay, the last video I started out, it was like 44 minutes, and I touched on this and I got embarrassed because I forgot the goddamn law and I couldn't find it, and it bothered the hell out of me. So I edited out some other stuff. The video was too long. Okay, most people don't have the the attention span for 44 minutes. It's just the way it is. I also don't make the videos in my car that much anymore because I noticed that I don't even get half the views I normally get. People don't want to hear me talking in my car, so I stopped doing it. But what I used to do in my car is I used to always talk about the same things over and over and over again, like coram non judice. A lot of people don't even know what that means. So when you go in front of a fake judge, they automatically have no jurisdiction over you because the Supreme Court in Virginia versus Rivas, 1880 case says any judgment coram non judice, meaning in front of a person, not a judge, which is one of them, commissioner, support magistrate, referee, friend of the court. Okay, they're not judges, so their orders and the proceedings are absolutely void. So what does that mean? That means they need your consent. Okay, and that's why they trick you into going there by scaring you, by sending that letter. And whenever I get email, well, most of the emails I get are from people who get that letter that day. Rick, I just got the letter, and and I understand you're scared. They want you scared. That's how they scare you into showing up. And then when you start challenging jurisdiction, they ignore you. That's why you have to do it on paper. When you have it on paper, it's recorded, especially if you have it stamped and you have a copy. Okay? When you have it, again, you have and then what happens also is that they'll, that's dismissed. Ma'am, sir, talk about the fake judge. I filed my paperwork, and what they do is they do not respond to your paperwork purposely because they don't want to be on record denying you your rights. So they'll just say, yeah, it's dismissed. So then it's up to you to file an objection. I can't say how many times I've said that in my videos, but I got to keep saying, anytime you're denied a right or they dismiss your paperwork, you file an objection. And if they don't respond to the objection, you have a default, or you go a step further, you file a writ of habeas corpus. I'm telling you, the writ of habeas corpus is the remedy. Again, I just got an email yesterday. Again, a guy got it. It's denied. One line, it's denied. No reasons, because they know they cannot give you a reason. There are no reasons to deny a writ of habeas corpus when there is evidence that your liberty, your freedom is being restrained. How is it being restrained? It's being restrained by a void judgment issued by a pretender, a fake judge. even a regular judge. A regular judge needs your consent. Why? Because you are sovereign. Okay? So what I'm showing you here is that and I want you to look it up. It's under Cornell, right? Just put in 42 USC. It's going to come up Cornell. Look it up, guys. You have nothing to do. Just start playing around and look up the definitions. Look right here, medical assistance. It'll load up eventually. All right, look how long that is. All right, that's the basis they need to claim that the custodial mother must assign support rights. Also, the child must be in foster care. Okay, so let me show you why they need your consent. Okay, understand this. I've been recently touching on my last video on. I've always, I mentioned state constitutional rights. That's the way to go. Okay, and sovereign state citizen, not a sovereign citizen of the United States. A sovereign state citizen. Don't let them call you a sovereign citizen. They call you a sovereign citizen. Objection. I am not a sovereign citizen. I am a sovereign state citizen. There is a distinction, and I'll show you. Come on, effing thing. Sorry, guys. You can't see it, but I got the goddamn spinning wheel. There's stuff like this is why I gotta edit these goddamn. See, sovereign state citizens are not subject to legal process. Okay, and thereby the court or administrative court needs your consent. They don't want you to know this. Okay, when you're sovereign, you're a monarch, you're a king. Okay, here's sovereign as an adjective. Okay, you're independent of and unlimited by any possessing or entitled to original and independent authority or jurisdiction. They need your consent. Okay, here's another thing. One may be a citizen of a state and yet not a citizen of the United States. You understand that? So you could be a citizen of the state and not a citizen of the United States. See, it says the United States. It doesn't say United States of America. The United States is the corporation under 28 U.S.C. Section 3002, subsection 15. It's a federal corporation. That's why they like to call you person. Okay? 42 U.S.C. 1301 A3. The term person means an individual, a trust or a state, a partnership, or a corporation. Have you ever considered yourself a corporation? No, you're a human being. So what they're doing is they're changing your status. They're rebutting that presumption. I am not a person. I am a man or a woman. Okay, think about your everyday language, how many times you use the word person. It's very hard. I try when I speak to people, I try not to use the word person. It's hard because we've been using it our whole life. We've been indoctrinated into using the word person. I watch Game of Thrones and they use the word person. Okay, they use it everywhere. Okay, so look, private person is the term. Private person means a person who does not have. Now this is important because that means there are people that do have it. So if they're saying a person who does not have sovereign or special immunity or privilege, that means that there are people who have it, right? So if they're saying that, that means. So when I read that, a couple of months ago, I was like, that's not suspicious, but it gave me an idea. So I'm like, I'm going to start asserting my sovereignty. Okay, which causes the person not to be subject. So in other words, if you're sovereign, you're not subject to legal process. You got me? So let's look at what legal process is. Means any writ, order, summons. And listen, I probably talked about this in my last video. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Okay? That's why I do this. You know, I might even redo a video I did a while ago. It's all about repetition. You guys have to get this. I can't tell you how many people email me and they don't even know. Well, they denied my paper. She denied my paperwork. He denied. Who's he? Who's she? Oh, the support magistrate, the commissioner. And I'm like, how many videos have I done telling you guys they're not judges, meaning that it's quorum non judice, meaning it's void. You got to say right away, well, your order has is absolutely void. You have no power whatsoever, and I'm not giving it to you. I am not consenting. I am not giving you power over me. You don't have power over me, and if you did, you tell me. You explain it to me. See, what they do is they don't explain it to you. They just go on. They talk over you because they don't have it. All right? So I'm going to prove to you again that they need consent. All right? Under the Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, Article 2, Section 201, right? Basis for jurisdiction over a non-resident. You are not a non-resident. You know what a non-resident is? Somebody outside of a state. What state are we talking about? District of Columbia, Virgin Island, Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa. Okay? You're not a non-resident. You're domiciled. And you live in the state, a small S state, not a big S state. I'll talk about that another time. All right? So in a proceeding to enforce or modify support order to determine parentage, a tribunal of this state, see the big S? You know what state we're talking about? District of Columbia. May exercise personal jurisdiction over may. See the word may? It's not definitive. It's not a definite. May. You know when they can do it? When you consent. When you consent in a record by entering a general appearance or by, here we go, by filing a responsive document having the effect of waiving. Here, see, I just had a guy 2 days ago sent me paperwork. They sent them paperwork for him to waive personal service. They have to serve you personally. Somebody has to hand it to you, not drop it in your mailbox, not put it on your car windshield, not hand it to your father or your mother. It has to be handed to you. Okay, so in my paperwork, we do not consent. We are not making a general appearance, and we are contesting that they don't have personal jurisdiction. Okay, so what I'm proving to you in this video is that the state needs your consent. Okay? Right away. You do not have my consent. Okay? In the Declaration of Independence, okay, it says that the government, okay, needs your permission. Okay, I'm paraphrasing. To be governed. Governments work for us, not the other way around. Okay? So they need your permission. They don't want you to know this, but this is right here. This is in their words. Consent. And by the way, this is the federal, every state has a mirror image of this. So whatever state you live in, just punch in your state and punch in Uniform Interstate Family Support Act, and this will come up. Okay, so that means in every state they need your consent. Okay? All right, and we're going to go over this in my next video, okay? We're at 24 minutes, all right? So we just covered that there are two types of citizens. There are state citizens and they're United States citizens. You are a state citizen. You're not a United States citizen. You want to know why you're not a United States citizen? Because you didn't consent to it. I never consented to be a person. I never consented to be a United States citizen. You know when you became that? When you were born. Were you cognizant of what was going on? No, your parents went along what they just thought was right, what everybody else went along with. So when if you became aware today, that means that you didn't consent to it. You see, there's willfulness. And here's another thing: if you've just been notified, a lot of you get it happens to. Let's just say you didn't know you had children, offspring. Okay, I had a guy just reach out to me yesterday. Okay, I just found out I had an 18-year-old. And they're trying to make him pay all the way back. You don't have to pay because you didn't know about it, and it wasn't willful. Your non-payment was not willful. It has to be willful. You have to know that you had an obligation to pay. Well, if you didn't know you had a child, how can you willfully not pay child support? You understand? So that they can't make you do it, and you have to argue. Everything is about willfulness. Consent. All right. Another phrase is oh God, let's see how long it takes to effing load up. It's going to give you. It's called informed consent. What is informed consent is you're being informed of what your rights are, and then by using informed consent, you're consenting because you've been informed of your rights. So you're knowingly giving them permission. Informed consent, an agreement to do something or to allow something to happen, made with complete knowledge of all relevant facts, such as the risks involved or any available alternatives. Okay, so let me give you a perfect example of informed consent. Your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. What they're doing, they're telling you what your rights are. Now that I've advised you of your rights, are you willing to talk? Okay, you're making a decision whether you want to talk or not because you've been given you've been given the knowledge, and then you willfully make a decision. That's informed consent. I could tell you, all of you out there that was tricked into signing paperwork, you were not given informed consent. You were given, you have to do it. Oh, if you don't do it, they're going to suspend your life. If you don't do it, you're going to get arrested. Or there's 3 or 4 moronic court officer or deputies or bailiffs who are sycophants, who do whatever they see. Real fast, I'm going to end the video, but I'm going to end it on a good note. How many of you saw that the judge was arrested up in, I think, Massachusetts? She was letting these illegals leave out the back door of her courtroom, and she got indicted. But you know who else got arrested with her? The court officer. You want to know why he or she was arrested? Because he or she followed her order. See, they're not covered. See, if somebody gives you an illegal order, you're supposed to not follow it. Okay? And the moron followed, and that's why I don't know who it was, he or she, is going down with her, got indicted with her. Okay? So if there are any court personnel who watch my videos and you happen to carry a gun in the badge, you should know that when they order you to do something that's illegal, you're going to be liable for your decisions. Okay? All right, guys. I'll be making another video talking about other. I'll be covering this again. All right? I got all these slides I didn't go over tonight because I'm not making a 45-minute video. All right? So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.